outside of Moscow.
I only know of two locations. One that looks like an office, and the other's like near a garden.
Yeah, I keep migrating, just to keep you guys entertained.
So, Misha, is your computer a Republic of Gamers?
We live. We're on. We live.
Is
Yes.
that the yeah?
Yeah,
We're good.
that's the best I could find.
Did we creep you out? Figuring out all these things about you.
Yeah, but the thing that's the computer I had I could put Linux on, and it would work, and still be good. So
But you're not a gamer though, right?
I did play games, but well, I like not now. There is no more time to do that.
He's so he's
But
there in spirit.
But for my games, you didn't really need this kind of gear.
Oh, you don't need
It's
that keyboard.
It's like strategic games.
Okay.
I'm I think 2 times national champion in some strategic games. But
Oh wow.
Wow.
We have to migrate that to the podcast.
let's not go there.
Are you guys all based around Europe, Northern Hemisphere? I'm based in the Southern Hemisphere. Bhul is in England. So we're based all over.
We're everywhere. We've got the Netherlands here. We've got London. We've got the U.S. We've got Moscow. We've got Korea. I think maybe even we have Serbia here. I mean, we're as distributed as the network is.
Excellent. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, come every Tuesday. We do this every Tuesday, same time, same place.
Yeah, fantastic. Just connecting with you guys, so just learning how you guys work, how your system is like. Yeah, we wanted to take our time and get this right before we came on board and talk
Sure,
to you.
that makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, I guess maybe on that note, we sort of get going. Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to Community Call number 62. We have a bunch of really cool presentations for everybody. So please turn on your cameras if you haven't done so already. I know I say this every week. Strike a pose. I promise to get your good side. Please save your questions for the end of each presentation, and please use the raise your hand feature in Zoom to do so, and I will call on you, and we will answer YouTube questions and Q&A at the end. So that's that. Let's see, just basic stuff. Proposals. The only proposal that passed this week, today actually, was Gamepad Bot, and that's a great partnership. Works over Telegram. There's no need to register. There's no need to download anything. And now it's going to be integrated with Free10. Great team there as well. So congratulations to those guys and congratulations to us. We expect really big things. Token distributions. So there are several proposals that should go to a vote this week that are in the pipeline, and including a few people that are here now. So what we want to make sure and do is sort of bunch those all together into one. So we're not making the stats and a data collection group do the work twice. Just doesn't make sense. So in other words, probably next week. Almost surely next week. And that's it as far as like basic stuff goes. So as I promised last week, we're going to have tech updates go first from now on. So Mita, make it rain.
I don't know if it's rain or or something else. No. So just to recap, we have started the Rust Cup last week. We had a crash almost at like not the first corner, I would say, but after several laps. So that's good. We then run with that. We patched and punched. We patched the node. And the upgrade didn't go well because because we created some confusion, I think, me including, but that was not intentional, I would say, but nevertheless, so the upgrade didn't work. the way we expected, and we just restarted. But as we said as I said at the very beginning, that's what this race all about. It's an endurance race. It can be stopped, restarted at any time. There will be an announcement today about how the points will be kind of distributed because of the well, I would say like yellow flag, and the like you know, the you will see how that. So there is some compensation that go out for the people who were in the shard that crashed. And again, I am just saying that because I predict people would whine a little bit. So let me explain how it works in the car racing. Really, when you have a safety car, like you have a race, and then suddenly you have a safety car, then all the whatever gains someone had in front of someone else is disappearing because they are compacting after the safety car, and that's totally fine. So that should be expected. So even like, for example, you had some gain over the competitor, like, I don't know, 30-second game over the competitor, and then then the safety car is out, so you lose that's part of the race. So nothing to like, that's to be expected. So it's fine. We increased the slashing conditions. It will be more interesting, and you already kind of saw that effect of that. So it will be much harsher than the next kind of stage. And so we are waiting now for distribution of tokens for the race to restart. It will probably restart tomorrow. Well, again, it's up to just the technicality of the token distributions. Hopefully will be done today, and tomorrow, once it's done, basically you will return, and then the lap will go, the flag will go off, the yellow car will go off, and that will be restarted. And then once it's restarted, we will put some load. It will be more load than in the previous time, so it will be more interesting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, that's about the Rust Cup. I don't think I have any further updates. So if you have any questions, please shoot.
Any questions for Mita? I'm sure we might get some from YouTube by the end, but if no questions, we can move on. Okay. So thank you, Mita. We also have a really unique proposal, really cool one, that doesn't ask for or need any tokens. Wow, that's cool. So I think the idea of this proposal is essentially to be able to draw contestants to Freeton contests from outside of the Freeton network, which I don't know why this hasn't been done for so long, but yes, it's a majorly awesome idea. And we have, I see George and Platon who drafted it. So let's start with, I don't know, who wants to go first? George? Or?
You want to say something?
Yes, George.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's a big pleasure to be here. So we want to start with this proposal. And we have this plan. The main idea is to engage as much people as possible to be a part of the community, which I think and Platon believe really important for us. We know that some people are in our community are not gonna like this, especially since this information asymmetry and it's a big profit when less people involved in the contest, obviously. Gives you bigger chances to win and easier to compete when, you know, like the same people competing over and over again. But we have to think and take care of the value of the project. And that's why we offer to create a whitelist. What does it mean? The whitelist is gonna be the list of the biggest contest platforms. So basically, we share in all the contests from Freetone community through all these platforms. And the main idea is to attach hashtags to every platform and in the whitelist through the whitelist and attach hashtags to every contest. For example, if there's some web design, analytics, development, NFT contest, we're always attaching this hashtag. Yeah, and so basically we launch, when we launch a new contest, we share it on all the thematic platforms. And it's still a discussion for us who's going to be in charge for placing the contest through this the whitelist. And there are multiple mechanics how to realize that. So Platon and me, we want every one of you to be a part of this discussion because it's really important. So I think we should make this important step all together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Excellent. Any questions? Let me try that one more time. Any questions? Okay.
Sounds pretty cool.
It is. I think it's very cool. I think it's super duper awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, Platon and George. We're now going to go and talk about a really cool and fantastic partnership proposal that's coming to us from Create Wills. So wills as in inheritance wills and living wills and that sort of thing, excuse me. So they have a really cool idea on how to do it over Freetone, and we have Raymond and Gul here with us for the very first time, so please make them feel welcome. And guys, yeah, we're all ears.
Thanks, Ron. We just prepared something simple to share with you guys, and we can just email it to everyone, and you can take a look at it later. So when we look at basically wills around the world, we realized that it may be a very good opportunity to bring in Freetone and what you guys are doing in blockchain. And we were introduced to you guys by quite a large insurance company in Malaysia, in the region. I'm based in the ASEAN region. Gul is based in UK. So our company works from Malaysia, Singapore, UK, and Indonesia as well. So we work in the region, and we are growing. But we have quite a strong case to use blockchain in digital wills because it just makes sense. It makes sense to have smart contracts in wills because the authenticity of wills, the security features, the public feedback in terms of how comfortable they're going to be if blockchain is involved, it just makes sense to have the combination of the two. So we designed our will about 7 years ago. I came on board 4 years ago to look at expanding the business into the region. And Gul is our CTO, and he built the whole platform on using PHP. And we've been brainstorming for quite a while to look at how we could come up with a solution that could benefit people. Because every business I get involved in, Gul gets involved in, there has to be a human problem that we solve, or a societal problem. And that's a big problem that we are trying to solve here. If you look at basically what we want to do, I think there's about 850 million people around the world who don't have wills. These are adults. And when you don't have wills, it causes all kinds of problems, which I'm going to get into in a while. But we're trying to use digital wills as a means to just move away from the traditional establishment. Instead of using lawyers, instead of using banks who charge high fees and people who are really trying to make a lot of money from people for something which is, I feel, a basic necessity. It's like a bank account or like an insurance policy or something that you need. If you make it too inaccessible for people, then people are not going to have it. And globally, people are suffering when they can't afford wills or when they don't do it because it's too complex. People are dying and not having it done. And they get into situations where their assets get frozen, they can't transfer it to the next of kin, their family members, their children get stuck, and there are all kinds of social problems that happen because of this. So we're trying to lower down the price, but at the same time, not lower down the quality. Just trying to make it as good as we can to the marketplace, but something really affordable and fully comprehensive that protects people. Yeah. So we've got something that we want to do. Two things. One is to make it comprehensive, another one to make it cost effective, but mostly to remove the complexity. So the average person can come into the platform in 10 minutes, get what they want to do done, and it's a fully comprehensive will. We build in all the legal language, the algorithms and everything else to help them do it. Yeah. And I think we also have a system that allows people to resell this as a means of income. Many people have lost their jobs around the world because of COVID, and they're looking for extra income or to be part of the gig economy. We give them an opportunity to do that. We have another platform that allows them to get people protected by getting them to do wills and to push it out. Yeah. So it's a web-based application. We launched it on Google Play and iOS, and we moved away from that because they were charging too high, and we wanted to keep our costs low. And we also wanted to be fully responsive on any device. So for example, if Huawei launches its own platform, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a browser, you can come on board and you can use this, and anyone can use this in any device. It auto sizes, and you can log in one device, complete it in another, make it easy for anyone, right? Just to give you some statistics, it's a global problem. It's not just a problem in Asia or somewhere else. I do not know about Russia, but almost more than half the population around the world don't have wills. And this is a problem we're trying to solve by making it easy for people to get there, right? And because we work in all kinds of markets, in a majority Muslim country, they need to have Sharia compliant wills, which are Islamic wills. In non-Muslim countries, they have conventional wills, and we do both. We just want to help everybody, right? These are the main reasons why people don't have wills, and we talked about some of them. Many people fear it. The cost of legal wills with a lawyer is too high. Their will providers will do it in a traditional way with documents and coming to meet you and stuff, which just raises the price. So people don't know where to start. And if the problem is when you don't have a will, you can't even transfer your car. You have any money in a bank account or anywhere else, you can't transfer it. Even if you have things like Bitcoin and stuff, it makes it difficult for you to move on and transfer those assets, right? So the problems that happen, just to give you an example, in Malaysia, and this is a common problem around the world. In Malaysia, there are like 70 billion of our ringgit, our money, frozen because of people who don't have wills. And many Malaysians are unaware there's conflicts that happen between families. So we just have a saying, right? Don't add confusion to grief. People are already grieving in the process where they lose someone. Don't add confusion to it, right? These are the things, I'm not going to go over one by one, but we're going to make it available to you. But what we decided to do was to do a platform that's fully white label. We mainly work B2B with the banks, insurance companies, large organizations to actually create the whole system for them. And we do it for free, so they can get to as many people as possible. And then we work per user that comes in and works with us, and we profit share. We've got Faraid, which is a very complex algorithm that works in Sharia wills or Muslim wills. We've got it done. We're the first in the world to do that. There's a very easy interface. It's simple to use. Like we build in the legal language, so people don't have to write in a legal way. They just have to fill in what they want to do. The depth of the will has got so many things there, from like how to work with guardians for your children, to medical DNR forms, to do not resuscitate forms. If something happens to you and you're on life support, we cover everything, right?
Sorry, just to interrupt. I don't think you're switching the slides as you're talking.
Sorry, Will?
I think we're still stuck on the third slide.
Okay, I'm on. Can you see this one? Because let me share it again. Because on my screen it was moving forward. Will, can you see this? Our USPs versus others?
Yeah, we can see it now. Yeah. Great.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So I mentioned the white labeling, the Faraid, making it simple, having the legal language there. It's easy to change. So it's a lifetime product. When someone works with us, they don't have to rewrite their whole will again. They just have to come in, update the section, maybe like they've got rid of one asset, they've got a new asset, update it and move on. We have a save feature, so they confirm what they put in. When we work with agents and banks, we've got split payments, so we can give commissions to different levels of people. And we have a separate sort of app called the Agent Portal, where the agents who are reselling this, and we are growing large numbers of agents to resell this around the region. They can check commissions, they can actually remote sell. Because in COVID, many places around this region are like in total lockdown. They can't go out and see people. So at least we give people an opportunity to earn something and earn a part-time income. So it's very useful to them. And many of the other competitors don't have this. Yeah. These are some of the companies in the region that we've worked with. Some of them are quite well known here. People like Fave, they're known internationally, but Touch and Go, they're part of Alibaba. and they are an e-wallet, and they have all kinds of solutions in fintech as well. Tune Protect is part of the AirAsia group. They're an airline. We've also got sign up with Big Life, which is the reward system for the AirAsia airline. We've got people like Policy Street, which are trying to aggregate insurance and make it affordable. So we've got a community of businesses which have come on board, including banks like Alliance Bank, who are trying to come on board with our vision to make it affordable. In UK, we've started with Once I've Gone. In Singapore, we've got a few companies as well. Yeah. So we're growing, and we want to let you know that this industry or this market is a $5.5 trillion market in terms of pounds, because between now and 2025, many of the baby boomers are going to be transferring wealth. And if they don't have the right instrument or they don't have it planned well, it's going to cause a lot of problems for them. Yeah. Now, these are the collaboration benefits for Freetone. I'm going to end in a short while. Freetone will get a minimum of 2 users for every Create Wills customer chooses to upload their will in the chain, because the first user would be the customer, obviously, but you'll also have executors, people that you trust to execute your will for you, beneficiaries who get it. All these people will be coming into the Tone to fulfill this. And we want to make Tone a big part of this. Gul will explain it after this. You'll get to access an untapped market, because these are people who don't really use blockchain, especially in this region. And we want to bring them on board and use Freetone to do it. Yeah. So in summary, I think Gul, you want to take this on? You want to explain it?
Yeah. So I'm sure some of you guys have seen the proposal on the forum. We've just we'll just go over the summary here. I mean, we're proposing via contest for this to be developed. Basically, it's a smart contract that we need developing so that we can then use via our web application. So we're proposing 50,000 tokens upfront for the development to start via sub-governance. Paid by yourselves to the developers, whoever wins. Stage 2, once it's completed, another 50,000 tokens to be paid to developers for finishing the work. These are just estimates, so obviously it depends on what the development teams would quote for the development. But this is what we're ballpark thinking. And then additional tokens for every 100,000 users we bring on. We paid 4 tokens per user, to a cap of 1 million. These numbers are just something that we spoke to Chuck Belgrade about, and he suggested this is typical. It's up for discussion, but this is what we're kind of requesting. The process generally, I mean, we've got a little process map here. I'll talk you through quickly. I won't take too much more time. How the process would work from a development technical perspective, and to the users as well. So you have someone in our system created a will. We give them the ability to say, okay, I want to push my will into the blockchain, and have it just available. So then it'll live outside of Create Wills. It'll be as part of the Freetone kind of network, right? So the user would select their executors and beneficiaries. These are users that would have an interest in accessing that will. So the first step is they upload the will. Number 2 there, it's then in the Freetone network. Number 3 is the beneficiaries and executors will be sent some kind of a link or a key to be able to access that smart contract and say, I want to access this will now because this person's died. So that's number 4. That would initiate some kind of a countdown timer thing inside the smart contract to say, the testator basically has got a little period of time to intervene if they haven't really passed away, to say, actually, no, I'm still here. I don't want to give them access yet. If that time period expires, maybe over a week or something, then the smart contract would say, okay, it's a legitimate request. The person's not intervened. I'll give access to this will now to the executors and beneficiaries, and then that's it. They get access to it, and that's the gist of it. So you've got a number of users there interacting with the smart contract on chain. So obviously fees and things associated with that to drive that. But that's in a nutshell what we want to try and build. There's some scope there to use it for other use cases as well, not just wills probably. But we feel that this works quite nicely for us, and it fulfills a very unique kind of use case. And I don't think there's really many we're not aware of anyone else doing this really at the moment. So it's a novel and new thing. I'm excited to kind of build this with you guys. Yeah, that's it really.
Thanks, Cole. I think just to end, the reason why we want to bring this in is we feel that it's important that even though we're trying to make this affordable, accessible, and make it something that everybody can have access to, looking at the 850 million adults, with the situation that's happening around the world, it's become even more urgent for someone to be protected with this. This is part of social protection. But the more important thing is that when we give some things to someone at an affordable way, it doesn't mean it has to be low quality. So what you guys are doing with Freetone and the kind of technology that you have will really help alleviate a lot of problems if we could work with you. So we really hope that you come on board with us and you work with us. Thank you. Thanks, Ron, Joe.
Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. I can see we have hands raised immediately. Darkwing, you were first. Please go ahead.
Yes, my question is more formal. Can you kindly please share maybe a link to the forum with this proposal and maybe a link to the presentation? I think it can be useful to look in it more in detail. Thank you.
I believe it's on the forum.
Yeah,
there it is. Mm-hmm.
Yes, just for members of this call.
I'll upload the proposal as well here so you can access it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Ben.
Right, I'm going to ask a couple of hard questions here, or hopefully they won't be too hard for you guys, obviously. First up, so with regards to a will, I assume there still needs to be a legal counterpart. There still needs to be a standard will which corresponds and counterparts to the version that would be going on chain.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
So it's going to use our existing system. And to let you know, Ben, we designed the system with lawyers in every country that we operate in. So we didn't do it it wasn't something we did on our own because we liked it and we felt that it's something cool to do. We actually went through a whole, like a 1-year process in every country, getting a group of lawyers to sit down, criticize it, check it. So all that we've done is going to stay. It's just this element in blockchain that's going to add a lot of value to people because it allows beneficiaries to open up the will and have access immediately without having people having hanky-panky there, because blockchain just adds a lot of security and convenience and a lot of I think a lot of confidence in a product that you have.
So in that kind of way then, the kind of USP here, what you guys are really developing is a way for beneficiaries to claim the well, I don't know what you'd call it, the inheritance of a will, without having to go through any kind of legal stuff. Would there still have to be a standard claim on the will following the local laws of the country as well?
Yes, there has to be. So there are two parts legally when you do a will. The first part is that you write a will. And so you write down what your wishes are, your who you want to get what in terms of your assets and how you want to plan it. The second part is the execution of it. That means the transfer of the assets, the name and everything else. That's normally done in a court process, right? In different countries, there's a different process, but normally it's done in the courts. The courts will look at it. Okay, this person has done a will. These are his wishes. So we give you normally what is called a probate certificate. It's accepted. You take it to all the banks, and then you get your assets transferred. If you don't have a will, there are a lot of extra steps that you need to take.
Of course. I understand the importance of wills, obviously. So my big question would be going to kind of the working model diagram you showed at the end there. What is the difference between this, what you guys are proposing to build for, the development costs you're asking, and just a standard hash notarization, which exists on pretty much every chain out there? I mean, I interviewed a politician over in Utah back at the start of the year, and they have been putting wedding licenses and certificates on the Ethereum blockchain for 12, 18 months now. So if there's still, if you still have to go through the entire standard legal process as well, what separates what you guys are doing out from, like I say, just a hash on the chain, which verifies it with a secondary layer? Because again, I mean, if you guys are building something bigger than what I'm understanding, then obviously that's one thing. But yeah, to have a corresponding hash system, you could build that out for 50 quid.
Well, what we're thinking.
What is it I'm missing? Is what I'm asking.
There is a long-term plan here that obviously we want to do this initially, but we want this to be bigger in that when you upload the will, you're kind of also authenticating that you're the person that's uploaded it. We don't quite have that right now, but it's something that we're working towards. So there's an element of authentication as well of the user, of the person.
This is obviously a big problem with NFTs and any kind of digital ownership. I mean, I can take any image and upload it to a random NFT platform and claim it. I created the image. So again, if it's still always just a counterpart to the standard legal procedure side, what is the real innovation you guys are offering here? That's what I'm struggling to understand at this stage.
I think one of the things, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, is the fact that normally for beneficiaries to access a will, it has to be done through the executor. It goes through a process. It takes time. This way, it's automated. And I think the comfort to someone like you doing a will with this system there is, your beneficiaries are going to read it, Ben. They're going to get it automatically. Your executor is going to get it.
But and you would still... Sorry, you said a couple of minutes ago you still need to go through a legal entity in order to execute the will.
Execute, yes, but to see the will, you don't have to wait until it goes there. You actually see and you know what's happening. You know that it's going to be given automatically. There are plenty of cases where when a will is done, people come up with say that no, he's done another will. There's fraud. Somebody else substitutes it and say no, that's not his purpose. That's not what he wanted to do. So this is going to prevent all those issues when you automate that process on the chain.
And
because you can take that fraud.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, for the time being, obviously these two systems, the traditional way of doing it and this new way have to work alongside each other, because you can't do away the traditional way, because that's the laws of the countries. But once we have something like this, we're taking the first steps towards then maybe approaching governments and things and saying, look, there's this different way of doing things now. Coming to the 21st century, there's a digital way. You don't have to have a physical document somewhere with a wet signature that's easy to kind of fake. If you're able to prove and the benefit of the immutability of being on chain as well, I think that's quite an important thing here. That once it's on there, there's no fiddling with it. You can't change it. You can't mess with it. It's there. You just need to prove that the person who added it to the chain is the person.
So I mean, that takes me down a different tangent, but how do you guys deal with updates to the wills, as you've said? Because obviously once it's on blockchain, it's immutable. How would you deal with that kind of situation?
So when you create a new will, it supersedes the previous one. So it's signed and dated. So the most recent one is the one that's legally, the one that's upheld. That's right, isn't it, Raymond?
Yeah. So when you want to update it, you can go back to our system, you can update it and then redo it. And put it up on the blockchain again. It becomes a new will, right? So it consistently allows people to get the latest update, gets it done properly. Nobody's going to fiddle around with it. You don't have third parties that you have to. For example, if I did a will today and I didn't have this on the chain, this system that we want to do, probably executors will have to get a copy. I'd have to tell them everything up front. What happens if some beneficiary or someone else puts pressure on them or they leak it? This really protects everyone, and lets them know that whatever they want to do is safe. It'll be given to the right people at the right time. And eventually, I feel, and I think Gul feels the same thing, we all do, people are going to move to blockchain for authentication. You're not going to need signatures anymore. Most countries are backward now. So if we push this, we can also push regulators to say that allow people to authenticate wills on the blockchain. Don't use signatures anymore. But we have to start somewhere. We have to take the first step and get it on the chain first. We have to champion something first, and then we can keep moving people and getting them to accept it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your answers, guys.
Thanks, Ben.
So, can I go?
Yes, Mita, please.
Okay. So I have kind of two conflicting things to say. First of all, I think the framework of the content of the proposal itself is brilliant, meaning that I think all the contests should be done this way, in the respect that the tokens for implementation should really go to the community through the contest system. That's kind of, for me, like this was always obvious. Like that's what we want to create. Like people are coming, if they want to do something, there are sub-governances who are dealing with that, and you just propose that we will do that for the sub-governance if it's a common good, of course. And here the other part of the thing. I totally agree with Ben in terms of, like, in order to create this kind of system, you need to bring the legal system, because it's an Oracle system. Okay, what you're building is an Oracle system. And in order to, in the whole value of this system, apart from, like, as far as I understand, okay, is that I can go to the debot in the surf, for example, and do the will. Like I click few buttons and I create a will, and then without me even being doing anything, this will get notarized because I just paid for it, and then it's just got uploaded back, basically stamped with the whatever notarization, and here you go, I have my will on the blockchain. Without that experience, user experience, nobody will gonna use it, because I don't really see the point. If I anyway need to go to Noter and do this off chain, then like, okay, I can put it on chain. I can put it on chain now. I mean, I can create a system for like, I work 4 hours and I create the system where I can put a document on Freeton, and that's it. And so the whole value of that, I think, is actually to bring these oracles into the chain. Without you doing that, I don't think it has any value. So the question is, how do you view that process? Are you going to bring notaires to actually work with the blockchain directly, and put out of their system, put the documents that they're working in through the blockchain, getting that from the blockchain and putting that back to the blockchain? Would it be happening? Is that what you envision?
Mitya, thank you for your question. Gul, I'll just answer some things before I pass it on to you. It is a very long process to change a legal system. So I don't want to say it's going to be something easy, but that's something we want to do. Because if we start doing something different and allowing people to authenticate it, we can tell the governments, like, for example, some countries have a notarized process for wills, some countries don't. In Malaysia, you don't need wills notarized, in Singapore as well. So if we can actually look at how we can protect more people and show them a good process, a safe process, and the technology to do it, then we can get the notaries to come on board and add in something for the notaries to notarize through the chain, rather than print it out and do it through a signature. Right now, it's being done manually. So a lot of things are very backward when it comes to wills globally. This would be a good way to try and influence people to get on board. We were going to try it. Whether we get many of those people to come on board and do it, it's work, and we're willing to do the work to do it. But I can't tell you for sure that we can change the legal system and get people on board. It's something that we are looking to do, Mitya. I hope it answers your question.
Well, how many countries then? That it means, basically, for me, the answer means that there are several countries that can use the system right now, and the rest will not. So how many countries are there?
Right now we are in Malaysia, in Singapore, in UK. We're going to Indonesia. So these 4 countries will be the main ones. Then we are going to go to other countries one by one.
It means that in these countries, you don't need actually to kind of to have any system. You put your will on the blockchain. That is your will, right? Like, or
meaning, what sort of system are you asking about?
Well, you just said that there are some legal your jurisdictions where they recognize the will. If I just sign the will and put it on the blockchain, right?
Yeah, in Malaysia and Singapore, you don't need it to have notarized. In Indonesia, you need it to be notarized. In Philippines, yes, you need it to be notarized.
So there are some countries that I don't need it to be notarized, meaning that I can put whatever I want on the blockchain, and that will be my will.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. So how people know that it's my will?
So we have authentication features. We have KYC to make sure that you have documents and photographs and IDs and AI to know that it's your will. So we're building that part of the technology. So people can't come in and I do a will on your behalf and try and use your name.
My question is the following: if I die tomorrow, where my people, my family will go to even know that I actually had this will on Freeton?
Exactly. That's the exact reason why we need the system, because the blockchain will let them know that you have a will, they get a copy of it. That's a big missing element in wills around the world. So most of the time you rely on a lawyer.
So basically what you want is like a ledger of the wills, which will notify everyone, which is problematic because of course, sometimes you create a will and you don't want people to know that they're in the will, right?
You don't want people to know at the time you make it, but at the time of execution after you're gone, you want them to know.
Yeah, but how then? Okay, so how would they be notified?
We'll let the user decide if they want the beneficiaries to know, and certain beneficiaries they can select, but if they want to notify.
And then how would you know that I died?
So this is the system that I mentioned in the schematic, where there'd be a countdown timer that the person will request access to the will. If the testator doesn't intervene, then the person requesting it would get access. So there's a bit of communication needed back and forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how you're going to deal with that kind of thing?
We're looking at documentation, legal documentation of birth certificates, tying up with different government agencies. Like I said, in this process of tying up, we have a lot of government agencies like in this region who are excited about blockchain. So we can talk to them about incorporating their parts into this as well. So it's not something that we're promising that we'll do, but we're definitely going to look at how we can work with them and tell them how we are authenticating things and push it out to the different governments in the region. Hopefully they take it up as well.
I just don't see how people will right now use it. I mean, because we are proposing it to use right now. I mean, without you tying all these knots together, right? You didn't go to the governments. You didn't speak for this. You didn't do all that part, which is the hardest part. So
well, we can't do it, Mitya, because right now we have a system that takes it up to a certain point. We need the chain to incorporate all these things in. Once we have this, then we can talk to them.
Yeah, Mitya, I mean, Prof, to be truth, you can talk with governance only when you have some prototype work. It's the same story with Andorra. So Andorra is quite receptive to such solutions, so we can talk to them, but we need a solution for that.
Yeah, but solution to upload the document to the blockchain is something that takes 3 hours.
It's not about it's the whole story, the whole user flow. Solution which you can imagine how can will work in the future. It's not the solution which government will believe that it works right now.
No, I'm talking about a very simple solution of uploading the document to the blockchain. That's what you need to go to the government and say, okay, we have the system which uploads the document to the blockchain. Let's recognize that system as a legal, holder of the document. I don't know.
And you said exactly why it's not enough. So you need all oracles, you need all connections, you need all compliance with all public notary regulations. Exactly. So it's not about uploading; it's about completing.
That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah. That right now, what I see is that how we create the the technical solution. What I don't see in the proposal or in anything is how you will gonna and talk to all these guys and bring them all to the system, and because that's the most that's the hardest part. Right?
Yeah, there are two levels to this. If, for example, it doesn't mean that everybody we talk to is going to come on board. Some agencies may want to take their time and think about it. So we'll have to look at communication, as Gul says. We already have a system to store documents. So your birth certs, your identification cards, everything else is already built in. It's being built into the system now. So you'll have documents there. So you can very easily upload the document into the system when you have a death certificate or something that proves your point to release it. We just need to look at tying in those other partners, because right now the users are already going to use the existing system. We have a storage system already for documents. Now, in terms of going to the departments one by one to make it easy for them, yes, that's something we want to push. But if let's say one government department says, no, we don't want to allow this to be uploaded, we have to find a way to actually manually put it up or get the users to submit it to get the proof of point and then release the will. Again, all this is at the choice of the user, as we said. I can choose to let my beneficiaries know straight away that I have a will. I can choose to let them know at the point of that. It's something that will happen at the choice of the user who's using it. We're giving them the freedom of choice to decide. Misha.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Joanne,
Yep,
please.
I have a question. And also, I think we'll all be chipped soon enough, so the system will know when we die. So that's solved there. Anywho, you mentioned that people will be, or they have the opportunity to earn income by selling wills. I was wondering if you can go into a bit more detail about that. Who are the people who will be selling them? How do you find them? And how do they sell them? And is there like a commission model? How is this?
Thanks.
How is it?
There already is a separate system that we have. So our business model is basically two-pronged. The first thing we do is we ourselves go to large banks, large organizations, and try to get their database to get a will done with us. So at that point, we work with a database of a bank or an insurance company. That's one. The second way we sell is through agents, and that's what you're asking us about. So anybody can join us as an agent in the country that we work in. They have to go through training, they have to go through certification with us, and then they get onboarded in a system where they can actually, with the knowledge they have, get people to buy the product, sell it. Commissions are paid to these people, so it's a source of income. Right now in the region, we're trying to focus a lot more on having housewives, women earn an extra income using this, so that they can bring and supplement an income to the family, because many families are already having a problem with income in the regions because of COVID. So we're trying to get more people use this as part of the gig economy, do something part-time to supplement your income, or have a second sort of income as part of security. There's a commission structure, there's training, there's tools and materials, everything they need to use is there, so that they can actually use the system to earn income. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Julian?
is the commission structure transparent? Is this open for everybody
Yes.
to see? Okay.
It is when you join us as an agent. So when you come on board with us, everything is on the system. The agent portal tells you how much you've earned, who your customer base is, who has been paid, how much.
But can you see other people's portals, like what other people are
No.
making, or no?
No, because I can't show you what another agent is making. Whatever he sells, and he sees everything that he does for himself. He has
So-
access to that.
Unfortunately,
Possible that
people
the-
only dies
But
once.
if you're asking us about reports, for example, if you want to know like how many wills have been sold, we can actually generate reports to Freetone as well, so you can see how much is being sold. Was that your question, Joanne?
Yeah, but that means that commission model, the percentage can be different per agent, right?
It can be different per agent depending on like whether you're going through a bank or direct agents. Like if you are a direct agent and you join us, it's pretty much standard and it's fixed in every country. It depends on how much they sell, and of course it's per will that is sold. But if you work with a bank or a large organization, because they have a team of maybe 2 to 10,000 staff which are reselling this. So when they resell this, they determine the commission to their own people and how much they get as well, and how much we get at the end of the day. But there'll be a fixed payment to, I think, Tone for every will sold regardless.
Okay, thank you, Ray.
Thanks, Joe.
Micha, I think you said something, but
No.
Oh no!
sorry,
I just said that unfortunately people only die once. So
oh yeah.
you cannot have a repetitive income stream from one customer.
There's one thing though, Micha. Whenever someone updates a will, they have to pay a small fee, and they have to pay Tone again to validate it. So there is recurring income for the period of.
No, I'm imagining a DeFi market growing up, like when you take your will and then you start to kind of take loans against this will and stuff like that.
Let's see.
Oh God. Okay.
And they use it as a collateral. and
Refine
there
it.
you go.
Will
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Maybe Ron, I can make like closing remarks.
Yeah, Alex,
Since I was-
please. Yes,
since
you
I
had
was
your
the
hand up.
person who had a kindly introduction from Zihan, who is also on the call. Thank you, Zihan. First of all, Raymond and Gulzaman, thank you for coming and presenting it in such an explicit manner and answering tricky and difficult questions that Ben and Miti and the others answered. My 2 cents on this, I think it's a great use case overall. Of course, there is a lot of, I don't want to repeat what everybody said, complexities, and probably the product would need to be upgraded, but it's just a great use case. And for Freetone to expand into the ASEAN countries, plus we can have Ben being like the first customer in London, just to check out the user experience and user interfaces to make sure they work. Obviously, would not be needed for another 50 years, but still. Yeah, fingers crossed, Ben. So thank you. It's a great use case. I'm fully supportive.
Thank you.
Maybe I can I just say something also for the closing. I mean,
Sure.
I think there is a huge problem with wills on the blockchain, meaning for the blockchain assets. Like the blockchain assets is a problem, right? Because you have a traceability problem of that. And I think if you could just solve that problem of actually like you know, because a lot, like if you think strategically, like of course people will have their like more and more assets in a crypto space, right? So you will have to kind of deal with that somehow, and I think this is an interesting problem to solve.
I think it is, Misha, and because we are new, we need your help. We need your guidance to come on board and get this done. But eventually, if people can give authentication keys and transfer blockchain digitally through a will, I think it's a fantastic problem to solve. We really look forward to doing that, but we want to go step by step. This is something definitely we've talked about as well. How do you actually transfer your crypto assets? It's definitely something you want to look at.
Okay.
Thank you. That was a very engaging, very interesting presentation. I love the back and forth. That's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Gul. Okay, we're sort of running a little bit of going to be over time. So let's go to one of our regulars, Darkwing, who wants to quickly just run through contests that are taking place at the Freetown Academy Subgovernance. Sorry for all the us. Darkwing, your turn.
Yes, thank you. So I will try today very quickly. So publish on a forum about our the course about our developer website contest. I will share.
Your internet connection is like this.
With you and share.
And we lost you, sort of.
Just a second. And
no, it doesn't work.
Nope.
Not sure if I can fill in a few details of what Alex was saying. I helped them tidy up the document a bit. Essentially, there's a new contest launch through the Academy for a developer-specific educational site. Some really good rewards on offer because obviously it's quite an important one. The topic's up on the forum right now. I believe, Ron, you've had a couple of kind of comments. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions for anything in this area, I think now's the time to get your comments in, please. I think Alex may have been going to say something along those lines, possibly.
If I'm going to make a comment, first of all, we've just had let's just call it an experience through another contest that's similar in website. First of all, drop those numbers. I think the reward numbers are ridiculous. They're just ridiculous, and mostly what it does is it doesn't jive with market costs, right? It just doesn't. Number one. Number two, I think that I see no reason to have one contest that talks about first the design of it and then the implementation of it in one. Just do one, see where it goes, and then do the other. And then ultimately with Freetown Academy, I do have my own thoughts. I think that we really just need to ramp up the pace in actually creating really good educational materials, but that's outside of the talk of contest. But I believe Darkwing actually wanted to say something about not just that contest, but something else. I don't know, is his connection any better? Darkwing, are you with us?
Yeah.
Do you need a will?
Darkwing, don't die.
I'll tell you what, why don't we come back to Darkwing? We'll do that. Try to fix your internet connection, please, and we'll come back to you, and we're just gonna sort of mix and match. So, right. For those of you who do not know, we have another offline off-chain event similar to the one we had in Dubai in May that's going to happen in Malta in November. And the last time that we organized this, we sort of had to scramble at the last minute, and Joanne actually basically saved our butts. But now we want to do it right. We want to do it from the beginning. We want to involve everybody. So we want to make it better. Joanne, talk to us about Malta.
Will do. I hope you get some commission though, if he gets a will now, because you shouted him out like that. So AIBC Malta, yay! It's our second foray into the world of huge off-chain events. And last time in Dubai, we had 25 people from the community join us and another 15 or so from our network, Ton Labs, all around join the event. But this time it's going to be so much bigger. If Dubai was 2,500 people, Malta is expected to be 25,000. So how are we going to fit on the island? I don't know, but they're calling it the mother of all conferences. Ron has already pointed out that many things could have been improved with the Dubai event, some on our side, some out of our hands, but we're going to focus on what we can do this time around. And for one, that is ensure that all subgovs have adequate time to create their own contests, to nominate their own community members and get your own reps to the event. We have the tickets and everything's now up to you. How you handle compensation and all that, that's up to you as well. So some things that you need to know, the date is the 16th to the 18th of November. Vaccines will be required. I don't know what kind of proof we will need, but I'm sure we'll find out more closer to the event. Subgovs, of course, you have to figure out your own way forward. Do you want to run a contest similar to how Dubai was done? Or are you comfortable with just nominating someone from your subgov or a few people? How many people you want to go? 1, 10, whatever. It's all up to you, and how you want to proceed will be in your hands. And this time around, we have twice as many tickets. I think 80 in total, so maybe 60 for all of the community. Let's see how many people we can get there for a big party. We will also be holding another workshop, same time, 90 minutes. So we have space for 2 top winners to have a speaking slot of your desired topic, of course. And this workshop will be recorded and live streamed. Also, we'll have some social promotion set up for it because we're going to get everything arranged ahead of time. Also, it's important to note that the Chinese subgov did a really fantastic job pulling together graphics, printouts, pamphlets, business cards, and all sorts of things for their own event, for their first off-chain event. Yeah?
Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah, so I think it would be useful if you have not been to an off-chain event or you weren't involved with Dubai to reach out to the Chinese subgov and, ask them for some tips, inspiration, or help if you need it. Another thing that I've noticed is that I believe there's going to be a lot of crossover potential because there will be multiple shows during this week. We have AIBC, we have AGS, that's the affiliate Grand Slam. There's the World Gaming Festival and MedTech World. So we're not just going for AIBC. You can think about all the sorts of connections that you can make. So biz devs, do your thing. Yeah, so here we are. It's time to start organizing your subgov. We have, 3 months, 4 months until we're there. And the earlier, the better. So start off by going to aibc.world and you can read up on the Malta event, familiarize yourself with the organization, the country, any details and anything to get yourselves informed, maybe helpful with contest creation or so on, and we can move forward. We also have the opportunity to push out a few more PRs and articles. So discuss within your subgov, is there something really special that you would like to share? Is there news, partnerships, or milestones which might be interesting to the AABC audience? You can reach out to me. We can create something together and push it out. Also, once the Malta team has been formed, we will have another Telegram chat, just like in Dubai, so everybody can collaborate, talk about travel plans, plan things together at the event, and so on. Yeah, so be excited. This is huge. This is going to be a really huge event, and now we have adequate time to prepare for it. So we're going to get a lot more value out of it. Yeah, so discuss amongst yourselves. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always ping me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much. Okay, awesome. So it's basically like it's like a whole event week.
Yeah, massive
event
an
getaway.
island takeover.
Island takeover. That's right. It's going to be nothing but free tonners there. It's going to be.
I can probably join if you would allow me. Just to add a couple of things. I was there twice at the Malta event, the blockchain event, 2 years ago and 3 years ago. It's a big one. I don't believe, to be honest, in the 25,000 people number. I think it's typically, if I remember well, it was more like 6, 7. And I don't believe that in the current vaccine environment and COVID environment, they can go beyond that much, beyond the 6, 7. So I'm more kind of into that number, but still, it is going to be bigger. And it's a home turf for the organizers. They're actually from Malta. So they can do many more things. And, you know, this Intercontinental Hotel where it typically happens is they're like, they basically own the place. So it's going to be more flexible. Yeah, but otherwise full support for the roadmap that you outlined.
That's what Anna said, that she's expecting 25,000 people. I don't know how that's gonna fit anywhere. But
we're gonna double the population of Malta.
Yeah. Anyway.
They'll never have us back. No, I'm kidding.
But I believe
it wasn't our fault.
7,000, I can believe. They've done it before. They have a database. So yeah, I can believe that. But it's still, it's okay. I mean, it's big.
It's gonna be fun.
Okay. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much. Anybody have any more questions? Any questions for Joanne? No. Okay. Let's go back. Darkwing is back with us.
Yes,
Internet connection fixed. Landline, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, we do. Yes, please
Yes,
tell us
great.
about the contest at Freeton Academy.
Yes, the first we published a draft of proposal about education website contest. So to say quickly, go there and let's discuss it. In my opinion, we should create something like maybe called something website where members can just code in this site on this website and create dashboards and so on. Something like websites where you can coding. Also, I like very much comment by Ron about rewards, and one raised this question about all contests because I think that it's better to when we have multiple rewards for month for number of months, it's better to start with a less reward and go like step by step by step. For example, we have 50,000 tons of reward to participant. We can give him in first month 10,000, then 20, then 30, and so on. So it's about educational website contest. You can go to the forum and discuss this, because now we are just discussing and would like to make our draft better than it is now. Again, it's this contest is about creating a website special for developers and everybody who wanna develop dashboards, everything in Freeton. The next point is about the course contest. I said about this on the previous week and want to repeat this. We are waiting for more courses. You have some days to participate. We don't know when we will be prolonged it or not, but we have more than one stage. That's why you can start creating now and participate. That's why you can find all information. I will copy in the chat one more time, all information. The third link, it's about this contest. You can join this group, ask any question, and see the post how to participate in this contest. So, and one little points, join us in Instagram because our great member, Evgeny Morozov, now have a first international trip from Miami and trying to promote Freetron. It's great, I think. So let's join us and let's join our Instagram. And I think it's very interesting to see some traveling videos because he made a lot of videos about his traveling, and it's very interesting. So, and we try to post every day 20, 30 stories about his travel. So I think I try to do it quickly. If you have a question, please ask. Please ask me.
Thank you, Darkwing. Thank you very much. Cool contest, cool stuff to do, cool Instagram stuff. Does anybody have any questions for Darkwing? Okay. Any questions from the Zoom call about anything? Because we're going to move to YouTube. We're running a little overtime right now. Okay, here we go. Right. Okay, I'm going to try to reconcile the language. So somebody's asking, how do I work inside a crypto environment? If I lose my seed phrase, can I retrieve it? The answer to that at the moment is no. However, Mita is with us, and I think we have an idea that will eventually make it easier for you not to lose your seed phrase through a security card, which is coming soon. But no, if you lose your seed phrase, you'll lose your money. So don't lose your seed phrase.
You can still use your multi-sig account with several. So, but in general, yeah, if you lose like one seed phrase, if you had one signature of, you lose like the several signatures. If you had several signatures, then you lose your money. Yeah, which is like, yeah, if you lose cash on the street, you lose cash.
It's the cost of security. You sort of are responsible for that. So, but on the other hand, think of the benefits, right? So, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I just have.
Well, like, it's very simple. Like, okay, let me just 20 seconds on that.
Sure.
It's either your money, and then you are responsible for its security, or it's someone else's money, and they're responsible for their security. So when you have money in the bank, it's their money, not yours. Just remember that they're not your money. They're just digits on your monitor that you can see. It's not your money. And by the way, the amount of this money is also not controlled by you, or it's controlled by the banks who has the money. That's the bottom line, right? So it's that or that. You decide.
That's a great way to put it, right? So you either keep your money at the bank and let the bank decide, or you keep it under your mattress and you decide, but don't keep it under your mattress. Do something better than that. Okay. Some members, this is from Johan RC, and he has several questions, all pertaining to one subject. Some of the members in the French subgovernance have left. There are people who want to reboot the subgovernance. Yes. With ideas and projects already started by, and we have a contest, sure, absolutely, and I would agree with you. The French subgovernance, unfortunately, for reasons unknown to me, have just stopped doing what they're supposed to do, and we definitely need a reboot. Let's see, how do we reboot it or renew it without more than 50% of the members? You know what? Just propose a new one. Just propose a new one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the buzz and rumors around the community are that they want to make a proposal to remove the French subgovernance as it is now. So we just call it French subgovernance too, or, you know, think of a clever name. You know, I don't know. I don't speak French. I think Mitya does. We'll think of something new. Yes, and yes. We would love to see what it is that you have to offer, because we need activity. And then he says, by the way, the last elected members, meaning the initial members of the subgovernance and jury, have not been included inside the multi-sig. Really? That's interesting. So it's difficult to make it move. Okay, like I said, there's no need for it. Subgovernance is formed by creating active members, bringing them together, and making a proposal. Make one, and bring the get the active members together. I think it would be something we would look at very seriously. I don't know if there were also some discussions about the fact that, does it need to be a French subgovernance, right? So does it need to be French centric? I think personally, and I think Ben will back me up on this, and I think Alex as well, is that it doesn't need to be so much a French subgovernance as it needs to be active members in France or French speaking who have good ideas of how to do something really well, and by virtue, it becomes a French-speaking sort of subgovernance. Let's not focus on the French end of it. Let's focus on the do and accomplish something end of it. And if it happens to be in the French language, then so be it. So that's something to think about. And and I see Ben has already answered. So, and finally, 10 Crystal to the moon, near future. Yes, beyond the moon. I think I talked about this once. We're going to Alpha Centauri. So that's all we have
in the near future. Like you go Alpha Centauri in the near future. That would defy the laws of physics.
Hey, that's what we're here to do, isn't it? Okay.
Not really.
Yes, really. The laws of physics, the laws of finance, the laws
are so passe. Yeah.
The laws are outdated. We're refurbishing them. We're refurbishing them. So. We're refurbishing the whole way people think. Yes, we are.
So.
Well, that's okay. You're allowed to do that. Okay. All right. And that pretty much covers everything. So last call for questions. Does anybody have anything to say or comment about?
Loads of great stuff out on Hacker Noon this week from all sorts of places, not just myself. So yeah, do check out some of the stuff I've retweeted from the Community Ton account this morning.
By the way,
shameless plug.
Love it. Why we're not promoting our broadcasts and stuff?
Podcast.
Do you mean the podcast? I did give a shameless shill last week, I believe it was. But yeah, big things happening with the podcast this week. So a few of you will know we've been doing the TFIFT podcast for a while. It started off as serious topics and debates, and kind of devolved as I drank more and more throughout the course of the hour. So this week, launching what's kind of a bit of a side project. It's not directly Freezone related, but obviously it's from us guys, so called Never Mind the Coins. I don't like swearing live on YouTube. Essentially, it's a
shit
panel.
Is not swearing. Wait a minute. I thought that was
no. There's a better way to do it. It's called S-hit. I remember this from listening to what's his face from the Penn and Teller guy, the Penn guy. I think it was. I don't remember. And he used to call it, because they used to have a show called Bullshit, and the way he would say it is he would say "bulls hit,"
sort of clapping out his own swears.
So pretentious.
My aunties might be watching, so I'll call it Never Mind the Sugar Coins. And yeah, it's a quiz show, panel quiz show. They're really big here in Britain. I've been working really hard at it. Loads of questions, lots of fun. obviously tune in for that, and we'll be sort of doing the TFIFT as a bit of a follow-on, you know, Dringy, come chat with us, follow up to that, I believe. So that's the loose plan I'm trying to push everyone into. So watch this space Thursday evening this week, guys.
Subscribe.
That's the after party, right? TFIFT, the after party.
Yeah.
If people don't want to go home.
Yeah. By the time I'm too drunk to make.
And do come to the show, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be recording the first episode of Nevermind the Sugar Coins live on YouTube. So we haven't been able to do it because of a clash with the DeFi meetups and stuff with the existing podcast. But yeah, going forward, it'll all be live, all be broadcast. So please join in and subscribe. It really helps the metrics, obviously, in these first few weeks.
What a great way to leave it. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We will see you next Tuesday, and we'll have more interesting stuff to discuss. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.